This video is another excerpt from that marathon phone call. The main focus is on the fight culture that exists in the area. But at the same time, true to form, Meghan also manages to drop Sami in it big time. Let's chalk this up as yet another reason why Meghan didn't want this audio released. And another reason why FBI really should be asking her some questions.
She said the boys fought. None of the girls fought. It was just a playful fighting and that was it. It was quick and easy and it was kind of boring.
Funny, because before Meghan made this call with Shan, she's already admitted elsewhere that Sami was in a fight, and the Adventures with Purpose video had also been released, in which Doug Bishop mentioned that Kiely had been in a fight with a girl whose name had been bleeped out of the video. So much for Meghan's claims that she never lies. Either she's lying here, saying it was only boys fighting, or she lied on, and I think it was Michelle Sutton's live, when she said that Sami was in a fight.
Playful fighting? Okay, if it was boring and all this and that, then I don't know.
That's why Sam left, as she was bored.
Oh, it wasn't big enough party for her.
Once again, the narrative is falling apart here. If you think back to the many, many other things Meghan has said, she said that the party started getting lively around 10:30 and that all these people showed up and it was a little bit scary. She also has said previously that Sami left because she had a curfew. So was the party out of control? Was it boring? Or did Sami have a curfew? What's the reason Sami supposedly left before 12:30?
She's like, and she now has to eat it because she's the one that advertised it.
Did you catch it? That was a huge slip up there. I'll play it again, and then I'll play it slowed down so that you can really have a listen to it.
She's like, and she now has to eat it because she's the one that advertised it. And she now has to eat it because she's
Oops, Meghan. What were you about to tell us that Sami supplied? Did she supply the alcohol? Did she supply the drugs? She supplied something. You've just told us.
She's like, and she now has to eat it because she's the one that advertised it.
Oh, right. She's the one that advertised it. You were hoping that slip would be missed, right?
So does she want to look like a fool?
Nope.
Do you want to look like a fool and stay there?
Nope.
So who's going to leave? Person that planned it.
So apparently, according to Meghan, Sami planned the party, she advertised the party, and she provided something, alcohol or drugs, for the party. Thanks, Meghan. That's very useful information to have.
Who's going to stay and make sure everything's cleaned up the next morning? Evan,
so
when
you can guarantee the time at which Sam left,
Yes.
But who's to say she didn't come back? Who's the headlamps in the water afterwards at 2:22 in the morning?
How do we know that's not anybody from a different party?
Because they come down from the.
There's 3,000 people out at Boca at the time in Prosser.
Oh wow, she stumbles and she misses. Interesting. I've heard it said that when people are lying as far as figures, that they use the number 3 quite often. She's claimed that there were 3,000 people at Boca at the time. Like, what? Shan talking about headlights being seen near the water has got her in a flap. I'd love to know precisely what she's worried about in this instance. And while I really don't put much credence on the fire cam footage, I think there is definitely something majorly hinky going on there and we really shouldn't be looking at it. But obviously something in that has got Meghan worrying about slipping up and having some sort of information coming to the surface.
But you can see where the I'm going to watch this video more closely. I'm going to pinpoint whose car is what now that I know Evans was next to her. Like, it's hard
But
to see.
Evan likes to fight. Evan likes to fight.
Okay, is it just me, or did she suddenly sound panicked when Shan started talking about Evan's car being next to Kiely's? And suddenly she's like, oh, but Evan likes to fight. Evan likes to fight. Is she worried that Shan is going to try and talk to Evan and find out that perhaps the story doesn't match up? I'm just wondering why the sudden urgency to remove Evan from his car next to Kiely's.
And the reason I know that is because when I was with them at the place, Jagger was standing next to me, and I said to Philip that was standing there too because they had just gotten a fight
Evan was
downstairs.
trying to play fight with Jagger or something like that.
No, I think that Evan and they might have been play fighting with each other, Evan and Philip, and then that's what happened.
Note, before I play any more of this, that she says, I think this is what happened. To me, it sounds like, having just said Evan likes to fight, she's now trying to come up with a narrative that will support this claim that Evan likes to fight. And she's trying to think on her toes and come up with a narrative. Hence the reason she says, I think.
They were trying to get it going. But
Evan and
what
Philip and Isaac are all friends.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's Isaac. That's the tall guy? Yeah.
Yes,
And he
the
actually
tall guy.
said to me, that's the guy, and I didn't know his name because I said to him, there's three of them that travel together. And I said, I don't want to know your name. And he said, my name is such and such. And I can't remember what he said. But Jagger was standing there. And I said, Jagger, will you tell them not to post this picture that they just got in the fight earlier tonight? And he goes,
Wow,
and
that's a lot of information I got from you.
So, note how she's gone from saying, I think they got into a fight, to saying that she told Jagger to tell these boys not to post the video of the fight that they'd just been in. Which to me sounds like she's saying that she knows there was a fight. There's a bit of a problem going on here with your narrative, Meghan.
And he said, and that was a different night. This was the night I showed up there. They got in a fight at the lofts with Mexicans that drove up, and they were outside and they got in a huge fight. They were going to post it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And I said, please don't post that.
So, in a different part of this recording, and you'll find it in one of my recent videos, she says that these boys got into a fight at the party. Now she's saying that they got into a fight at the loft and that they were going to post it everywhere on social media. Do you think that's a bit odd that they got into a fight at the party but they didn't post it all over social media? But then apparently now they've got into a fight at the lofts and they want to post it all over the place, and she has to put her foot down and tell them not to. Explain to me how that makes any sense.
And they said, why? And I said, please don't post that. And they said, why? I said, are you kidding me? If you post that right now, it's going to blow up on my phone. Right now, I'm going to get blown up on my phone if you post that.
Well, if that isn't a narcissistic reaction, don't post that, because it's going to be my phone that gets blown up. In other words, she's not worried about what people might think of them if they post a video of them fighting. She's worried about the reactions that are going to come in on her phone.
They're going to go through they're going through every single thing you have. And they said, why? And so Jagger, I let it go and they forgot about it. Jagger shows up and I say, Jagger, will you tell them not to post the fight, because they shared the fight video with Jagger?
Hang on, you just messed up your narrative there, Meghan. You had already said that you had discussed it with Jagger. Now you're saying Jagger turns up and I said to him, tell them not to share it because they'd already shared it with him.
And Jagger's like, oh man, that's funny. Ha 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 ha. Giggling while I'm holding his snake.
Was that another slip up there? Giggling while I'm holding his snake. Did you take Jagger's phone, Meghan? Is that what you were about to say? Giggling while I'm holding his phone. So it sounds like Meghan is being truthful about having watched a fight on somebody's phone. I'm just curious. What was the fight that you watched on somebody's phone? Was it really on Jagger's phone? Was it someone else's phone? What's the truth, Meghan?
And Jagger's like, oh man, that's funny. Ha 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 ha. Giggling while I'm holding his snake. And he goes, that's funny. And I said, just tell them not to post. He goes, oh yeah, dude, she's right. Don't post that. They're going through and they've already found my DUI and I haven't gone back to I haven't even gone to court for it.
I'm curious, just before I finish this video, why was Meghan at the artist lofts anyway? Was she going there to grill these boys about the party? Was she going there to tell them not to talk about something at the party? Was she going there to look at a fight video and to make sure that that fight video didn't come to light? Or maybe that entire portion of narrative was intended to distract Shan from further discussions about Evan's car being next to Kiely's at the party. Was there something she was trying to hide?
Give a fuck about me.